Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Morgan. So today I am going to be doing my February TBR. I thought we'd kind of switch it up and I'm going to do like a random number generator. If you guys have seen my other TBR that I did a couple months ago, I did like a TBR jar. That did not work out well because I am very indecisive, and so getting those prompts, it took me like 10 minutes 15 minutes for each prompt to choose a book. Like, it was very hard. So I thought this could be an easier approach. I have like a whole list of books, 1 through 17, and I thought that I would just kind of go do a random number generator, and whatever number it landed on, that's the book that I am going to read. And so I thought that made a lot of sense and it would be a lot easier on me. So let's see, we're in the end of January. I have read 5 books, which has never happened before. I want to clarify that. Last year I read 25 books. So to read 5 books in 1 month in January is freaking insane. And I'm like really happy about it, but I'm also just like, am I gonna be able to keep this up? What's gonna happen with that? So for February, I also want to choose 5 books. But I am currently still reading a book that I know is going to bleed into February because it's a big book, and I usually take about 2 months to finish this book. It's a series, so it's kind of chunky. It's Royal Assassin, which is the second book in the Assassin's Apprentice Robin Hobb book series. So I'm going to be reading that in February, so I'm kind of morphing that into this. And I also have a book club meeting that I think I want to go to. It really depends on if I enjoy the book, if I finish the book. You know, I'm not making any promises to anybody, but like I'm thinking about getting a book from that. But you know, we're gonna go ahead and just choose 5 books, and I'm really excited and really nervous, but here we go. First pick, 6. I don't even want to look. I'm honestly really nervous. Okay, this is interesting because half of these books have been on my Goodreads TBR for a long time, and the other half are random books I just found online. So this is a book that I have never heard of before yesterday when I made this list. So number 6 is called Sin Eater. Let me see. I remember a little bit about this book. It was something about it's like historical fiction. This girl got, let me find out the synopsis before I start talking. Okay, so it says, for the crime of stealing bread, 14-year-old May receives a life sentence. She must become a sin eater, a shunned woman brutally marked whose fate is to hear the final confessions of the dying. Eat ritual foods symbolizing their sins as a funeral rite, and thereby shoulder their transgressions to grant their souls access to heaven. So super creepy, like really weird. It says, this is The Handmaid's Tale meets Alice in Wonderland in this gripping and imaginative historical novel about a shunned orphan girl in the 16th century England who is ensnared in a deadly royal plot and must turn her subjugation into her power. So I'm really excited about that. It is 284 pages by Megan Campisi. Like I said, I've never heard of this book, never heard of this author, but I am interested in seeing what it's going to be like, and I make no promises if I'm going to finish these books. These are just books that I want to try out, and if I like them I will finish them, and I'll let you guys know at the end of February. So we have our first book called Sin Eater. And also I want to say that I purposely chose books that were 400 pages and lower because I really didn't want to get any too big of a chunky book. I have a couple of books in here that are, maybe I have 2 in here that are 400 pages, but the rest are going to be less than 400, so I can make sure that I can get 5 done in a month. So let's go to our next generation, number 2. Oh god. Stop it. Okay, that's so funny. Okay, number 2 is The Seep, and that is actually the book club book, and I told myself that I had already planned on reading it, but I didn't know if I wanted to include that in this number generator game, or if I wanted to just put it to the side and read that alongside of the 5, but it'll be included in the 5. So The Seep is another it's kind of a, honestly, what I remember reading about it was like super creepy and super weird. So it's called The Seep. It is by Channa Porter. It's got 203 pages, like I said. Like, these are pretty short books. So this book says Trina is a trans woman whose life is irreversibly altered in the wake of a gentle but nonetheless world-changing invasion by an alien entity calling itself The Seep. It says Trina and her wife live blissfully under the Seep's utopian influence until Deepa begins to imagine what it might be like to be reborn as a baby, which will give her the chance at an even better life. Using Seep tech to make this dream a reality, Deepa moves on to a new existence, leaving Trina devastated. Look, this book is just so weird. Like, it just gives off the creepy vibes. And it's funny because these weird books aren't even my cup of tea. Like, I wouldn't put them in like my top 5 like genres or like tropes. But I'm very interested just to see what it could be like, and like if I might enjoy it. And like I said, it's a short book, 203 pages, and this book was a book club book that I really wanted to read. So that is the second book. Okay, third book is 10. Okay, this one is called Migrations. I actually don't know what this is about. I forgot. Let me refresh my memory. Okay, so this is Migrations by Charlotte McConaughey, 256 pages, fiction, science fiction. It says, Franny Stone has always been the kind of woman who is able to love but unable to stay, leaving behind everything but her research gear as she arrives in Greenland with a singular purpose: to follow the last Arctic terns in the world on what might be their final migration to Antarctica. Franny talks her way onto a fishing boat, and she and the crew set sail, traveling even further from shore in safety. But as Franny's history begins to unspool, a passionate love affair, an absent family, a devastating crime, it becomes clear that she is chasing more than just the birds. When Franny's dark secrets catch up with her, how much is she willing to risk for one more chance at redemption? Okay. See, I love my lit fic. I have been having some really good like reading experiences with literary fiction, so I am very interested and very excited to get into that. 256 pages, like I said, another short book. I think it's very important that I have kind of shorter books so I can make sure that I get my 5 books in. plus Royal Assassin, that is chunky and like a lot going on. So that is the third book. Okay, next book is number 7. I'm so nervous. Okay, number 7 is Writers and Lovers. I don't remember what that's about either, so I'll have to look at that. Okay, Writers and Lovers. These are like, a lot of the books that I'm getting chosen for me are books that I just discovered yesterday, which is kind of funny. These aren't books that have been on my TBR for a long time, which is kind of sad, considering that I have a good amount on this list of them. Okay, Writers and Lovers by Lily King, 320 pages. It says, blindsided by her mother's sudden death and wrecked by a recent love affair, Casey Peabody has arrived in Massachusetts in the summer of 1997 without a plan. Okay, her mail consists of wedding invitations and final notices from debt collectors. A former child golf prodigy, she now waits tables in Harvard Square and rents a tiny, moldy room at the side of a garage where she works on the novel she's been writing for 6 years. Dang. So it says, Writers and Lovers follows Casey, a smart and achingly vulnerable protagonist in the last days of a long youth, a time when every element of her life comes to a crisis. Written with King's trademark humor, heart, and intelligence, Writers and Lovers is a transfixing novel that explores a terrifying and exhilarating leap between the end of one phase of life and the beginning of another. So this feels like lit fic, yeah. This is another lit fic, romance. Okay. So it says I only have one more book to pick, which makes me kind of sad. But let's go ahead and pick the next book. Oh, I'm on 10 again, which was migration, so let's do it again. 3. Yes, yes. Yep, this is gonna be good. Okay, so for number 3, I have Agatar. Guys, I have never read a Sarah J. Maas book, never read Agatar, never read Throne of Glass, never read Crescent City, none of that. So I have been dying to attempt to pick up one of her books and just to see how crazy it is, how good it is, how weird it is. It's funny because I never saw myself picking up one of those books, but I felt like in my mind, like, hey, I ought to give it a try. I ought to see if it could be something good. Sorry if you can hear that loud ass plane. Sorry about that. But yeah, Agatar. Oh my god. So this is that one book that is more than the usual of the 300 pages. So A Court of Thorns and Roses is 419 pages. So that is the longest book that I have chosen for this month. So we officially have 5 books. We picked The Seep, Agatar, Sin Eater, Writers and Lovers, and Migrations. It's interesting because most of these are lit fic. I would say like most of these are lit fic. One like historical fiction, weird, and then The Seep was like, I don't even know what The Seep was put under, but we have like a more like lit fic than I was expecting. So I am very, very excited to get into it, guys, and thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe, and make sure to check out a video that I will be posting in the next couple of days for my January wrap-up books. So again, thank you guys so much and have a great day.